Hi everyone, this is Tina from Cosmic Turtles, and if you hear some noise in the background, some scratching noise, it's my kitty cat. Today, or tonight, we're gonna try something different. I'm smudging. We're gonna try something different. The smudge bowl on the side here. You probably see some smoke going across. Alright. Oh, that is cool effects, isn't it? So I'm using my laptop, and it's like I discovered something new. I'm like, I can't believe how quick it is to upload. Way easier than cell phone or laptop, because the uploading, it takes so long. So we're trying something different. Something new but old, or something that I just kind of realized that I can pick up on things when it has to do. Usually if I'm having an interaction with a person, I can pick up on their energies, and then we can go from there, and I can pick up subtle things that maybe people haven't seen for themselves, because sometimes it takes an extra pair of eyes to see, right? I used to say we don't live in a mirror world, so we don't see ourselves, and we don't see our own blockages. And I've come up with that same issue, that same challenge, like trying to figure out, well, what's going on with me? How come I'm not able to get past this block or wall? And so recently, with the help of other people's, I've discovered that, yeah, I can perceive things. I can see things in, and with or without the help of cards. We can use the cards, of course. It's the card underneath is the Fool card. So, new beginnings for me, I guess. And we're trying to, like, in the collective, we're trying to see what the hidden truths are. But these truths can't be revealed until we get rid of the illusion that was in front of us first. The illusion is what we grew up with, what we were led to believe, because we thought that's the way it is, that's the way it's always been, that's the way it's always going to be. And now we're discovering, well, okay, on a human level, for the human consciousness, it's not so much that. It's more like the human experience is more about uh, discovering or remembering who we are really. And that is what we are. It's when we're going into when we start awakening, we get all these weird ways of explaining things because we don't know. We don't know until we do. And then when we do, we're like, hey, I've known this all along. How come I didn't clue into it before? And that's normal for our path. That's how it works. I used to complain to the universe and say, universe, how come I get the experience first, and then I get the understanding of something I already knew, but maybe didn't quite believe, and then I had the experience, and then after that I got the understanding. By the time you get understanding, that is called wisdom. And the understanding doesn't come after having an experience. Have you noticed that? A lot of us will do the same experience over and over with different peoples in different situations, but it's like you'll be like, I'm on repeat, especially when it comes to dating. You'll be like, it feels like I'm dating the same person but twice, and it's two different people. Okay, so then you take a step back and you, you take a step back and you're like, okay, now is it, then you start realizing, okay, it's something inside that I need to change. And then when you start learning about like energies and how they work and how like attracts like, then you start to see, okay, how can I change my internal magnet so that I don't attract the same kinds of people? Because if you set your polarity inside to a certain frequency, that's what you're going to attract. So the journey is to discover like how to set that. And there's multiple ways to, and there's a variety of ways on how to do it. And now that we've established somewhat of a basis on different ways of getting to the same point, the different ways are there for the different kinds of people. And then after a while, some people will try a method and they'll say, how come it worked for you, but it doesn't work for me? Now that's a new question. That new question is because we're going to get that answer from within us. The answers are inside, and they're individually made so that individually we got exactly the proper method. That's why they say follow your gut feeling, follow your intuition, follow your heart's calling, follow your dreams, your visions. Because these guidance that you're receiving from yourself, they are the keys to unlocking you from these blockages you've had. I have an owl. I made this owl fan for a ceremony, but at first I didn't know it was going to be for a ceremony. At first, I was traveling to Newfoundland, and on the highway, I told my partner at the time, I said, stop, stop. So we stopped. We put tobacco to honor the life of that animal that passed away. He got hit on the highway. I didn't know what kind it was. I knew it was a bird because, there was a wing flapping and the other wing was more broken, but the face wasn't there, so I couldn't tell what it was. And the talons had like fur on it, so I wasn't sure at the time. And so we picked it up, we brought it home, and then I did a little bit of taxidermy, and then I made it as an owl fan, and it stayed like that, but I hadn't added these ribbons until I put together these dreams I had. And one day at a fast, the grandmother told me, if you want to know what your dreams mean, put all the same kind of dreams you've had and say them, because I've had many dreams where, let's say, people were dressed in white. And it was different dreams, but the dreams, I'd remember them like a haunting almost. Like you keep, how come I keep having these dreams with people dressed in white? What's that about? And I've been having these dreams for a few years now. So the grandmother said, well, put them all in order consecutively and say the whole story, and then you'll have a path. Your destiny will be revealed. So I was explaining to the other girls I was fasting with these dreams I had, this was the place to share these kinds of things. And one of the girls was looking at me all smiling. And she was sitting like this, just listening, sitting on the ground, and just while I was talking. And I noticed that, but I kept explaining until I was done my story. And after, we had to get ready and go, and so I asked her just in passing, I said, how come you were smiling while I was saying my story? She says, well, you just explained the moon dance. And I said, oh, the moon dance. I wanted to ask you about that because I had heard she had went to that kind of ceremony and I wanted to know what it was about. Well, she laughed at me and looked at me and said, Tina, you just explained the whole thing. You just explained it. And I said, oh. So it hit me at that moment, like the dreams. The grandmother told me, say your story, it will reveal a path, it will reveal your destiny. And then it just hit me. I said, well, I said, when's the next moon dance? She says, well, it's in October. And this was the May May fast. And I was like, okay then. I'll get everything ready and I'm going. At the moon dance, they use the owl fan because we dance 4 nights at the full moon and we do prayers for other people. And the eagle and the owl is the eagle of the night. And the eagle is the one of the daytime. So, and then these colors were the colors of the rainbow because it touches every part and every aspect of everything that we are. And the purpose of the moon dance is to bring light to the darkness. So, if anyone has heard about some tarot cards, and it's the spirit animal cards, if you ever come across the owl card, it'll explain to you that the owl symbolism is to reveal, to make light the things that were kept in the dark, things that were hidden. And I brought, since a lot of things today is being brought to light. And what happens when the light comes on? The first thing everybody sees, because we're human, we see what we don't agree with. So it creates a lot of disagreements, a lot of debates, a lot of, you could say, chaos, but this is more like people wake up in the awakening process. When the light is starting to be turned on, the first thing you see is everything you don't agree with, everything that's just not right. And it's a normal human thing in the beginning of your awakening until you learn about acceptance or you gain understanding of why things are the way they are or how they develop to get to that point. Once you gain kind of like that understanding and you start connecting dots, then you're not as upset about the things you see. And instead of seeing things for what they are, although you do realize that's where they're at, you start bringing in your light. You start bringing in solutions to problems. So through all this uh, revelation of things that were kept in the dark, that were kept hidden from everyone, there's people rising up and they have the light on. They've had the light on for a while. They've been awakened for a while, and they're not happy. They don't agree with what's going on. However, they're not coming empty-handed. They're also coming with their light and to bring and shine the light on possible solutions that could work. So there's a wave of people. There's always been waves of people waking up at different times. Small groups. At first, it was like a little bit of people here, a little bit of people there. If you look at the whole map of the world, like it would be specific places. And then it started being little groups. Then it started being bigger groups waking up at the same time. And what we've been experiencing in the last, let's say in the last 2, 3 months, we've been experiencing a major wave of many people waking up. And there's nothing to stop that. Not even the dark, not even the light. There's nothing that can stop it. This is divinely guided. I'm having different ideas here. Just one moment. So it goes so fast and I want to explain it all. And I'm like, okay, let's try to stay on the same subject matter so we don't lose our viewers. So this wave that wakes up, there was one a couple years ago that a lot of people had waken up. And now it's a bigger wave. And every time it'll be even more and even more. So, and there's always been waves, like I said. So there's been people that have been awakened and continuously growing throughout all these other waves of people waking up. So that's why you have some people that are stepping up to the plate and becoming a teacher. It's just to help guide for understanding. It's just to help soothe so nobody falls down into an abyss or a rabbit hole that they'll feel like they regressed. Okay, so we're trying to ask those that are awakened, if you feel it's time, come and share your knowledge, come and share what it is that you've picked up along your years of experience and what wisdom you've acquired, and come and share that with others, especially with the ones that are waking up. And also make light of the things that are hidden that maybe people are unaware of. You got to understand that when you wake up, you want to share all this with everybody. But the truth is, not everybody will be ready to listen. There'll be some people that just nope, don't want to hear about it. It's too woo woo for me, or it's too, and you got to respect that. They're on their own individuals. They are on their own individual soul's journey. It's they're waking up that everything is within, but they got to go through that internal journey. You hear some of the people in the spiritual networks, they'll say, oh, this person hasn't done their work, their internal work. And so I don't want to hang out with them no more. And that's okay. That's totally respectable. And then there's others that are like, well, I understand they're not ready for certain information, so let's just keep praying for them while they're going through what they're going through. And if and when the time comes that you make yourself available, if they have questions. I always have a joke about that. It says, the awakening, it's an inside job. Because you literally go inside, clear out the crap first, put the light on the inside, clear out the resistance, the limiting beliefs, the things you thought, the things that used to work as like a certain behavior pattern, and that it no longer works or resonates with you or your environment. So it's about becoming truthful with yourself, taking an honest look at where you've been and where you want to go, and how to tune yourself to get yourself on that path. It takes a lot of will. It takes a lot of will. It's a healing journey, yes. First, it's a healing journey because you're healing all those things like childhood traumas. Uh, you go through a dark night of the soul, and that could last a while. And then there's these awakenings, and and then you're like, oh no, what do I do? And you feel like you're going crazy. You feel like you're going nuts. You really do. And then you also appear that way to other people. And then people start distancing themselves from you, saying, I don't want nothing to do with her or him or who, And it's okay. It's part of the journey because you're supposed to be not latching on to other people's while you're doing this inside internal journey. And there comes a time where you've recalibrated, you've cleared a lot, you're using your will. Your internal talk is not the same as it used to be. It's now connected to your core, who you are, your soul, your spirit, your higher self. It's connected to the divine after that. And as long as you hold on to that core of you, you start building up, you start changing your internal magnet, and then you start shining, and you don't even know you're shining. You really don't, not yet, but you're on your path, even though you don't realize you're on your path. It's so weird. And then you can kind of sense that there's always been an observer part within you, observing everything. That's the part of you start realizing you have that part when you have those experiences of being self-conscious. Like self-consciousness is like, okay, is my hair okay? Did my makeup's not right? Whatever it is, right? That's the first part of the observer that's watching you. You are watching you. Your higher self is watching you, but you on the inside is like you're reacting to it. It triggers you to be observed. But what is the part of a person that gets triggered? It's our inner dark. Not dark in the bad sense. Dark is in the sense of what needs to be healed, what needs to have the light shined on it. And the light represents love. So which part of you needs the most love? And that's what's being triggered. Jealousy, envy, vanity, greed, all those things. The mentality of lack will bring you into greed and appearing a certain way and all that, even though on the inside you know it's not true. And then you'll be self-conscious about it, and you're hoping nobody notices. See, you can see the development within yourself, but at the same time, when you've healed that, you can recognize that in other people. So don't be afraid about becoming enlightened for yourself. No one can hide from you once you've healed those things within you. No one can hide those things from you. They can think that it's being well hidden. But at that point, by the time you're there and you can see these things in people, you're also in a state of non-judgment. I mean, you'll tell people, don't cross my boundaries. I know what you're doing. And call them out on their shit. And that's okay too. That they'll be surprised and kind of intimidated and walk away. Okay. That's because they're still part of that. They're still part of that journey where they need to be on their own and do their internal work. Or choose to align with people that are the same magnet. But the thing is, misery loves company. And what it does, it pulls you down, down, down into the abyss, into the rabbit hole. It's only when a person is really fed up of going through these cycles over and over that they decide to rise up. And that's when the teachers will be ready to come and help and guide and help them connect more within and have more of that self-confidence, that inner trust, having that balance. And then they'll be able to see for themselves how awesome they are and always have been. No matter what experiences kind of made them a bit jagged along the way. And that's part of the human experience. This is what I understand so far. And there's more. But for now, I'm gonna end the video now and say thank you for listening. This is the teachings of Cosmic Turtles. I am your host, Tina. And I need to sleep because I'm working tomorrow. I'm still human. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe. Good night.